You asked for me. Here I am.
So we finally know why Eli Bradley, aka Patriot, was cut from Captain America 4. The producer behind the movie actually confirmed it, and it turns out it was done with his future in mind. Basically, they're saving him for something bigger, possibly a solo project or his proper debut in the Young Avengers movie. So let's break down everything we know about it, shall we? Here's what's going on. As Marvel keeps laying the groundwork for the Young Avengers, one character, Eli Bradley, also known as the Patriot, ended up getting dropped from Captain America: Brave New World. And now we know why, because Marvel itself has explained the decision. First off, Brave New World is going to focus on Sam Wilson stepping fully into the Captain America role. Rumors are swirling that he's going to be tasked with rebuilding the Avengers ahead of a big team-up in Avengers Doomsday. Meanwhile, we're also getting hints that Kamala Khan is forming the Young Avengers. That all started at the end of the Marvels, and Kid, Kate Bishop, was the first recruit. Fans are already anticipating who else might show up. Eli Bradley was definitely on the radar. We first saw him briefly in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's the grandson of Isaiah Bradley, and Isaiah's story is the central emotional thread in that series. So you'd think Eli's presence in Brave New World would be a natural next step. But Nate Moore, former Marvel VP and one of the producers, confirmed in an interview with Screen Rant's Liam Crowley that they decided to leave him out. Moore actually said that early versions of the Brave New World script had Eli in them, but as the script developed, the team realized there were just too many characters to juggle, and they wanted to make sure anyone who appears in the movie had a meaningful role to play. At some point, they said, they had to make a tough call, and they opted to stick with Isaiah alone. More specifically, the idea was to explore Sam and Isaiah's father-son dynamic without another character in the room. Moore wants Sam and Isaiah to have space to breathe, to partner up, to train, and to develop that relationship organically, without someone else weighing in. And some elements of Isaiah's arc, like what we saw in the trailer, which hints at brainwashing and possibly a prison scene, needed that kind of intimacy. So it was too tight to make space for Eli. To sum it up, Moore explained something like, "We started with a draft that had Eli, but as it got more ambitious, with at least 3 villains and the need to focus on Cap's journey, it became clear adding Eli would spread the story too thin. So they stripped him out to make sure Isaiah and Sam's arc could shine without distractions." It's a classic Marvel move. Don't cram too much into one movie. We've seen how Spider-Man 3 suffered when they tossed in way too many stories all at once. So keeping it focused on Sam Wilson ascending to Cap and how Isaiah fits into that is smart. Also, Eli Bradley doesn't have any powers in the MCU yet, so it'd be hard to make him feel useful in the big action scenes, especially when Cap's enemies are high-stakes threats like Red Hulk-level villains. It'd be awkward to include him in the team scenes without overshadowing his place. And from a storytelling point of view, this preserves Eli's importance. Marvel clearly has plans for him eventually, it's just not here. Leaving him out avoids sidelining him or making his debut feel inconsequential. Most likely, Eli Bradley will be held back for the Young Avengers movie, or at least an intro ahead of that. He could pop up in a solo Disney Plus series, or even in something tied to Black Panther 3, if they decide to weave in the Patriot as part of a bigger legacy storyline. In the comics, he's rooted in social justice and legacy, so pairing him with Wakandan themes would make sense. Plus, since the Young Avengers connects all these different legacies, Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Iron Lad, Hulkling, it just feels right to space out their introductions. By holding Eli off till later, Marvel can give him his own cinematic moment. Maybe they launch a solo miniseries exploring his backstory, like what it was like growing up under Isaiah's shadow, and how he eventually takes up the mantle of Patriot. Then, when Black Panther 3 or another Avengers-adjacent project rolls around, he can show up with that foundation already in place. Introduce him in a smaller setting, let fans fall in love with him, build momentum, and then let him hit the big screen as part of the Young Avengers, alongside Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop, Wiccan, Hulkling, and Iron Lad. That rollout lets each character breathe, gather their own fan base, and then come together for their big ensemble debut. In the comics, Eli Bradley is the grandson of Isaiah Bradley, the original African-American Captain America who was subjected to secret government experiments. Eli tries to copy his grandfather's legacy by taking on the Patriot identity. He's part of the Young Avengers from the very beginning, recruited by Iron Lad, and becomes one of the core members. His theme revolves around legacy, race, and what it means to live up to your family's history. So the MCU pulling him out of Brave New World makes even more sense. He needs a story that explores those themes, his heritage, how he defines himself, what it means to be a black hero without superpowers, and how he carves his own path. That's not easy to fit into a Captain America movie without giving him his own time and space. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Marvel has teased Black Panther 3, and there's room in Wakanda and the broader African diaspora arc for a character like Eli. Whether he teams up with Shuri and the Dora Milaje or gets involved in broader conflicts tied to Panther's mantle, there's a thematic synergy there. Eli's focus on justice and heritage aligns with Wakandan ideals, and with Black Panther 3 potentially expanding Wakanda's global influence, adding a patriot figure who stands for American hope could introduce tension, diplomacy, and even ideological debates between the two nations. Across the Marvel roster, we've already watched legacies take shape: Iron Man's technological brilliance, Captain America's moral compass, Thor's godly heritage, Captain Marvel's cosmic power, and Wanda's complex emotional arc are all well established. Now, it feels like the stage is finally being set for the Patriot legacy to take its rightful place. By the time Young Avengers hits the screen, each of these legacy heroes will have a fleshed-out backstory that justifies their place on the team. Sam Wilson has proven himself as the new Captain America, fully stepping into the role with his own leadership style. Kamala Khan has emerged as the energetic heart of the next generation, a teenage superhero full of potential. Kate Bishop has carved out her identity as Hawkeye's worthy successor, blending skill with heart. Hulkling and Wiccan not only bring strong cosmic connections, but also represent meaningful LGBTQ+ inclusion. Meanwhile, Iron Lad connects the team to futuristic and multiversal possibilities. So yeah, it all comes down to this. Marvel didn't cut Eli Bradley because they forgot about him. Rather, they're holding him for something bigger. Something that allows his character to grow, to stand on his own, and to make a splash when it counts. So that's the tea on Eli Bradley. He's not gone, he's just cooking up a longer-term plan. And trust me, when he does hit the screen properly, he'll be worth the wait. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.